last trading week was positive for the US assets. Worries of a rising inflation rate eased after the data on income and consumer spending was published in the US. It indicated a possible decline in consumer activity and a slowdown in the growth of consumer prices. It indicated a possible decline in consumer activity and a slowdown in the growth of consumer prices. On Friday, the US dollar index was holding above the level of 92.70 against the basket of other majors, which was close to the recent high of 92.92 reached on Thursday. The US currency gained 0.8% amid the news that the number of initial jobless claims is steadily declining, while the GDP forecast has been revised up from the previous estimates. All this confirmed the acceleration of the US economic recovery. In addition to the upbeat economic data, a swift rollout of the vaccination program, together with unprecedented government spending, made the US assets even more attractive to investors. Amid the current market sentiment, the single European currency dropped to its lowest level since November 12 against the US dollar. The euro remains under pressure from the rising number of new COVID-19 cases in Europe and the negative effect of the restrictive measures on the economic recovery. As for the monetary policy, the ECB said during its March meeting that it was going to conduct its emergency bond buying program at a much higher pace over the next quarter to lower bond yields and support the economy of the Eurozone. Meanwhile, the British pound also hit a new weekly low in the previous session. Unlike the euro, the sterling managed to finish last week considerably higher. Investors were encouraged by the UK retail sales data for February, which showed an increase in sales volumes despite the fact that shops with non-essential goods remained shut due to the lockdown. Last week, Bitcoin failed to meet expectations of crypto enthusiasts who hoped to see a rally to $60,000 per token. The current dynamic of the cryptocurrency signals a correction. However, the growth potential for Bitcoin is still high. Markets are waiting for a surge in demand for Bitcoin among institutional investors. In the meantime, oil prices remained unchanged by the end of the week. Oil traders pushed the quotes higher amid the news about a cargo ship that ran aground in Suez Canal, thus blocking the traffic. On the other hand, the growth of crude prices is limited by the continuing pandemic and a slow vaccination process in Europe. This, in turn, raises worries about the pace of fuel demand recovery. In addition, an increase in the number of new COVID-19 cases in large oil-consuming countries such as India and Brazil raises concerns among traders. Gold is slowly losing its shine among investors. After 3 weeks of growth, gold closed Friday's session with losses and settled near the level of $1,732 per troy ounce. The main reason for decline in gold was the strengthening of the US dollar, in which this asset is denominated. You've watched the combined review of currency and commodity markets on InstaTV with me, Anna Kasatkina. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to keep track of all the latest events on financial markets. See you back soon.